presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Driven in the air toward left field. That ball is deep. That ball is way back. And it's a game winner. He walked him off. Grand slam home run. Rajay Davis. Last night, Rajay Davis' first career walk-off home run touched off a party here in the Motor City. And tonight, well, it's a new night. Rajay will take the field again for the Tigers. Game 2 in this series featuring the Oakland Athletics and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us here for Game 2 in this series. What a dramatic win last night for the Tigers, Ron, in front of a huge crowd celebrating the '84 team. It was just a fitting ending to last night's game.
Hey, no doubt about that. Rajay Davis, he provided the heroics last night against the Oakland Athletics, but you have to give Anibal Sanchez some credit. He kept the Tigers in that ball game last night. You're going to win some games you're not supposed to win every now and then during the course of the regular season, and last night it was one of those games against Oakland.
All right, like we do in baseball every day, we have to turn the page now. Tonight's ball game should be another good one. Rick Porcello is on the hill for the Tigers, and really since last July, Rod, he's been, well, almost untouchable.
Well, he's been stellar. I mean, the fastball and the sinker ball, they've been there since he's come to the movies about 5 years ago, but it's been the changeup and all the breaking balls that's been outstanding. Take a look at who has been better than Rick Porcello since last July of 2013. Only Zach Greinke has won more games than Porcello, but look at the company that he's keeping. Kershaw, Scherzer, James Shields. Rick Porcello is really coming to his own this year, and it's the main reason why they decided to trade Doug Fister to the Washington Nationals and not Rick Porcello. He's been awesome this year.
Rick Porcello is officially a big-timer. Well, we've got Game 2 in the series coming up. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios. Check in with Lindsey Hayes, but this is becoming somewhat of a habit. The Tigers have had a lot of walk-offs against the A's. Maglio in 06, Torrey last year against Baltimore, and, of course, last night, Rajay Davis. Game 2 coming up next. Here in the Motor City, the Tigers and the Athletics getting set for Game 2 in the series. The starting lineup for the A's presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Coco Crisp. He'll lead it off in center field. The month of June was a good one for Coco. Jaso and Donaldson to follow. Brandon Moss in right field. Lowry and Vogt, and then Callaspo, Punto, and Gentry, your bottom three. As the Athletics try and rebound from a stunning victory last night for the Tigers. Rick Porcello goes to work. And the first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Coco Crisp. On another warm evening here in the Motor City. Coco batting .289. Pretty good numbers against Porcello, .375. He gets it started for them. He has a 5-game hitting streak, couple of hits in last night's ball game. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Porcello. It's fouled back out of play. No balls and 2 strikes.
Couple of fastballs, one at 91, the second one at 93, up in the strike zone that Crisp couldn't catch up to.
6 home runs this year for Crisp. He does have some power. 28 RBIs. Brian Holiday flashing signs tonight behind the plate for the Tigers. Here's the 0-2. Just off the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
After 2 fastballs upstairs, he came back with a fading changeup at 83 miles an hour, but Coco Crisp able to lay off of it.
Now Rick ready with the 1-2. On the ground to the second baseman. Right there is Ian Kinsler, and 1 gone. Good way to start this one tonight. The particulars on Rick Porcello presented tonight by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, what's new for Rick Porcello? He has averaged 2 ground balls for every fly ball since coming to the major leagues, and he gets Crisp on a ground ball to lead off the game. 15 ground ball outs for Porcello while he recorded his 10th victory. It was a complete game shutout, first of his career 5 days ago.
So Rick in search of win number 11 tonight as Jaso stands in, batting .272. They held him in check last night. He was 0 for 5. And Porcello will wait for his defense to align as Nick Castellanos makes the shift across the diamond. Jaso caught in the ball game last night, and he sends a ground ball to the right side. It'll get through to Castellanos, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 5-3 ground out.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' starting defensive alignment this evening. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. Induced 16 ground ball double plays this year for Porcello. We've talked about the fact that he throws lots of grounders. Davis, Jackson, Hunter in the outfield. They might not get a lot of work today, but Castellanos, Suarez, Kinsler, Cabrera, they will get lots of work. Brian Holiday, he's a catcher.
Well, the infield's gotten some work already. A couple of ground ball outs as Josh Donaldson stands in. Walked and scored in the ball game last night, was 0 for 3 otherwise. And he looks at ball 1 low.
And Donaldson has started to go the opposite way a little bit more this year, but he is still very much pull happy, especially in fastball friendly counts where he's sitting right now.
Donaldson takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, it's been a rough patch for him. The month of June is one that he would just as soon forget. He had a long hitless streak in the month of June. And over his last 21 games, batting just .155, but he remains a dangerous hitter. Got good power, 18 home runs this year.
He is also still the leading vote getter at the third base position to make the American League squad this season. It'll be his first trip to the All-Star game.
There's the 3-0 pitch. And Rick delivers a strike. Here are some of the offensive numbers that Donaldson has posted so far this year. The 57 runs scored is second in the American League. Now the 3-1 pitch. And it's in there, 3-2.
Well located fastball there at 92 by Porcello on the outside black. Nothing Donaldson could do with this particular pitch. That's why he simply didn't offer at it.
Rick has not made it a habit of walking too many this year. It's usually 1 or 2, if any. He's had a couple of games in which he's walked 3. There's a bouncing ball left side of the infield. Suarez has it. 3 ground ball outs, and a nice start for Rick Porcello as we go to the bottom of the first. Sixth inning in a scoreless contest here. Austin Jackson will be in the leadoff slot. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And it looks like this. It'll be Jackson, Kinsler, and Cabrera in your top three spots. For the second straight day, J.D. Martinez fills in for Victor Martinez. Torrey Hunter is in right. Nick Castellanos at third. Holiday, Suarez, Rajai Davis round out the Tigers starting lineup. And they are facing the left-handed offerings of Brad Mills.
And Brad Mills is not a hard thrower. He checks in with one win and no losses, a 4.35 ERA in the two starts he's had. He also has a changeup, curveball, and a slider. Doesn't throw many changeups, but he likes his curveball and also his slider to the right-handers and left-handed batters.
So Jackson starts it off. He was hitless in last night's ball game, but boy, did he ever pick up a huge walk late.
He had some good at-bats in last night's game. Line drive the opposite way, also hit a ball sharply to the second baseman, but you're right, that 9-pitch at bat in the ninth against Doolittle, classic.
Earning a walk and setting up Rajai Davis grand slam. Behind in the count 0-2 against Brad Mills, who is out of Mesa, Arizona. And that one bounces in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mills is 29 years old, was pitching very well down at AAA. Rajai wondering if he's got any more magic in that bat here tonight. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jackson. Originally drafted by Toronto, Brad Mills has had some time in the major leagues with the Jays. And now the 2-2 offering. Line drive right field, hit well. Moss going back in front of the wall to make the catch.
Let's take a peek at the starting defensive alignment put out there by Bob Melvin, the manager of the Oakland Athletics. And Gentry gets the start in left field today. Crispin, center, Moss in right. Callaspo, it's his 15th start over at first base. He's only made 2 miscues at that position. Lowry and Punto up the middle. And you have Donaldson at third base. And there's a look at Callaspo.
Here's why the A's are just so flexible. Callaspo last night was playing third base. He's over at first base here tonight. And they've got a lot of moving parts in their lineup. Here's Kinsler. He in 1 for 3 in last night's ball game.
Even though Jackson did not get a hit there, his at-bats have been encouraging. He's been lining out sharply to the right fielder, which leads me to believe he's very close to starting to get a few base hits.
Now Kinsler looks at a ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if he does, and he does start getting on a bit of a roll, we know what kind of hitter he can be when he's going well.
And he's also a catalyst. When Jackson's getting on and wreaking havoc on the base paths, it just seems like the offense runs a lot more efficiently.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Kinsler. Ian batting .307. Had the big home run in Houston to give the Tigers a victory when it looked like they might go down in defeat. Swing and a miss. Out number 2, first strikeout for Mills.
Mills will throw a lot of breaking balls. He really likes this over-the-top curveball that comes right off the table. 12-6 breaking ball. Starts out high, ends up low.
So with 2 outs and the base is empty, here is the big guy, Miguel Cabrera, standing in.
Yeah, Miggy got loose yesterday. Couple hits, 1 big fly into the Oakland Athletics bullpen, but he has really worn out Athletics pitching since he's been in the Tigers uniform. Worn him out.
17 career home runs for Miguel versus Oakland pitching over the years. And Cabrera's home run last night, his 14th of the season, batting .314 coming in. Missed it inside, 2-0 the count. And to kind of touch on what you're talking about, the Bernstein advantage belongs to a couple of Tigers against A's pitching. Martinez and Cabrera, the top 2 actives against Oakland. 2-0 is hammered on the ground to third, straight at Donaldson. And Mills has himself a 1-2-3 inning. Let's go to the second here at Comerica. Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. By Dodge. Hurry into the Dodge 100-year event and see how good we look for our age. And by Mario Olives, adding flavor to life. Well, what another great night here for baseball in the Motor City. It is still scoreless as we go to the top of the second. And the Tigers, after going 1-2-3, will send Porcello back out to the mound to face Moss, Lowry, and Vogt. A typical Rick Porcello inning, 3 ground ball outs in the first. Moss batting .268. He's the right fielder in this game tonight. And enjoying right now an 8-game hitting streak. Luis Castellanos again, he's on the move into short right field.
Well, he shifted after the first pitch strike. And the reason for that is, once it's one strike, very seldom will someone like Moss, who gets this type of shift played on him, will try to bunt for a base hit down the third baseline.
Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. We just got done with that series in Houston against an Astros team that all they do is shift
on everybody.
Different strokes for different folks. That's just the way they play the game. A 2-1 pitch right back up the middle. It's going to be fielded though by Suarez. And another ground ball out, 1 away. Let's check in with Shannon Hogan.
Well, you guys, if the fans at home or you were ever wondering, why does Bob Melvin wear the number 6? It's a tribute to Sal Bando, the former third baseman from the Oakland Athletics. They're in the 70s. And of course, Bob Melvin grew up in the Bay Area watching that 70s franchise just tear it up in the World Series. He then went on to work for Bando when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers organization when Bando was the GM. They've had a really nice relationship. He actually invites him out to spring training every year, along with several of the other champions from those 70s teams. He really thinks it's a great thing to have those guys around with the current team that he has now. You guys know all about that with the 84 guys that were here yesterday walking around the clubhouse talking to the current players. That can really help make a difference, and hope, rubbing elbows with some of those guys might pay off a little bit down the road.
All right, Shannon, thanks. Yeah, I mean, Sal Bando, that's a blast from the past from those great 70s teams for the A's. They had some great players on those teams.
Phil Garner, also a mentor to Bob Melvin. He was on Phil Garner's staff when Garner was here in Detroit, and something Bob Melvin has done. As Shannon said, when that 72 anniversary came around and the 73 anniversary came around last couple of years, he had all those guys come to the ballpark just to be around his players. And he was on that bench yesterday when we had that ceremony, the 30th anniversary, from the word go. And that's appreciated when an opposing manager does that.
It's pretty cool, and that's why we're so fortunate here in Detroit to have guys like Al Kaline, Willie Horton. They're at the ballpark every day. Always good to keep your history alive. Stephen Vogt waiting on deck. Lowry the batter. And he lifts this one in the air to shallow left field. Going to be a tough play. It's going to drop. Base hit. Maybe more. Lowry on his way to second. And he's got himself a bloop double. Hit them where they ain't. And that's what Lowry did.
Well, Lowry had a good day yesterday. He had a couple of knocks and drove in 3. That's a breaking ball that it didn't quite get to the area that Porcello wanted it, and Suarez, Castellanos, nor Davis could catch that baseball.
20th double of the year for Lowry, who had 45 doubles last season. Here's Stephen Vogt. Had 3 hits in last night's ball game, and batting a very solid .343 now for the A's. 0-1 on Vogt.
I think you're going to see a lot of these A's start to swing at the very first pitch from Porcello because he throws so many first pitch strikes. But the thing about Porcello, his control is so good. He can throw to your weakness. So if you're a hitter, you have to be careful if you're up there too aggressive on first offerings from Porcello, because he's throwing it where he believes you can't hit it, and he's got real good command these days.
Busted him inside that time with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
His last start was sensational. It was in Texas. It was a warm, humid night like it is tonight. Not the same kind of humidity as Texas, but Porcello said that really aided him in his sinker ball that day. And he had a great sink piece that night.
Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, it's as well as I think we've seen him pitch. And when you look at the numbers, he gave up just 3 hits, struck out 6. He had a complete game last year in Chicago. This was his first complete game shutout. Drilled to center field, hit well. Jackson is on the move, still running back. Austin tracks it down. Runner tagging and moving as Lowry gets to third with 2 outs. And that will leave it up to Callaspo.
This is the biggest difference in Porcello this year. Take a look at what left-handers are doing against him at just 249. Right-handers really not a whole lot better, which speaks volumes to the year that Porcello is having. But coming into this season, left-handers had a career 300 batting average against Porcello. So you look at his 10 wins, main reason why he's been able to slow the lefties down.
And here's a lefty as Callaspo stands in.
We watched Max Scherzer take that next step last year in improving his numbers against left-handed hitters, and all he did was go out and win the Cy Young Award.
Bouncing ball right side of the infield. Porcello gets himself another ground ball out. That'll end the inning. Nothing comes of a 1-out double by Lowry. The Tampa Bay Rays this Friday at 7:08. First 10,000 fans 21 and older receive a free Tigers Stars and Stripes tumbler. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Do you believe it's July?
No, I do not believe it's July. I mean, this season is starting to fly by.
That it is. I mean, the 4th of July is here this weekend. Trading deadline will be upon us soon. All of a sudden, it's going to be September. The pennant races are here. J.D. Martinez stands in, and he looks at ball 1 from Brad Mills. Tonight is the 80th game for the Tigers, and most teams are at 81, which is the official halfway point. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A little bit outside, 2-0.
And Victor Martinez still battling a sore right side. I talked to him in the clubhouse today. He said he was going to try to take some batting practice, which he did, but he didn't move around a whole lot, which leads me to believe that he could be possibly tonight good for a pinch hitting role should they get themselves in that particular situation.
Well, both teams are without a pretty good hitter in their lineup. Martinez for the Tigers. Yoenis Cespedes is out for the Athletics. He hurt his hamstring last night.
He told the Athletics that he could play today, but Bob Melvin erring on the side of caution with his talented left fielder.
And Derek Norris also out of the lineup. The bad back, of course, he's been hammered a couple of times on his helmet on some backswings involved in that Manny Machado situation in Baltimore. 2 balls, 2 strikes on JD. Tap foul. Tigers facing a lefty tonight, and as we know, they've done pretty good work against left-handed starters this year. They are 16-8 versus lefty starters. Mills had a 1-2-3 first inning. And a strike called on Martinez. Caught him looking, and JD disagrees with Mike Estabrook.
After a couple of fastballs and changeups on the outer portion of home plate, he comes back inside with a fastball at 87 around the belt buckle, which appeared to be off the plate and inside, but given the call by the home plate umpire, Mike Estabrook, this evening.
Here is Torrey Hunter, 0 for 4 in last night's ball game. Torrey looks at strike 1.
Last time the Oakland Athletics played a regular season game here at Comerica Park, it was Torrey Hunter that walked off their closer at the time, Grant Balfour. And then the first regular season game they played this year at Comerica Park, Rajay Davis walks off his former club.
Hunter with 9 home runs this season. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball left side to the shortstop. Lowry on the backhand, throws high. And Callasco able to reach up there and get it, and there are 2 gone. How about our picks tonight, courtesy of the new triple cheeseburger from McDonald's for only $2. I'm going with Ian Kinsler this evening.
I'm going to take Austin Jackson here tonight.
Shannon Hogan going with Nick Castellanos. Those are our selections.
Here's Shannon's pick right here.
He's got himself a 6-game hitting streak, does Castellanos, and he's up to 272 now.
He has done a very nice job in his first 3 months in the big leagues.
Fouled away 0-1.
Making adjustments as he sees fit. He does love to swing at the first pitch. He does that about 35-40% of the time, especially if it's a fastball. But he has really improved his plate discipline on off-speed pitches.
You know what else? He's handled himself pretty good down there at third base, too.
No doubt. You really have not noticed him that much. Tigers boast one of the youngest left sides of the infields in the big leagues with Suarez and Castellanos.
Here's the 1-1. Big rip fouled back. 1-2 on Nick.
And here's where Mills likes to throw the breaking ball outside or the changeup outside after he's gotten 2 strikes on the right-handed batter. But he also froze JD Martinez with a fastball inside and for strike 3.
Down the right field line, foul.
There's that breaking ball that Castellanos stayed on long enough to get just a piece of.
Mills, acquired from Milwaukee on June 17th, was at their AAA team in Nashville and was really pitching outstanding baseball. Had an ERA of 1.56. We mentioned had a few cups of coffee with the Toronto Blue Jays at the major league level. Swing and a miss. Castellanos is out of there, and the 3rd strikeout of the game for Mills. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Arby's. Try Arby's new King's Hawaiian Roast Beef BLT today. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. What a spectacular day to be out on the water today. No score as we go to the top of inning number 3 at Comerica Park.
And 5 ground ball outs already thrown by Porcello, but we slowed him down. Take a look at the action on his two-seam fastball. 4 of the ground ball outs have come on this particular pitch, and he's gotten 1 on a breaking ball. But that's a real nice look at how he gets that late fading action against the right-handers inside, away from the left-handed batters. 15 ground ball outs thrown by Ricky P 5 days ago.
Here come the A's now in the 3rd. It's Nick Punto to lead it off.
When you slow it down, you really get a really good look at just how much action Porcello has on his two-seam fastball.
Punto's only home run this year was hit against Porcello back in May in Oakland. In there for a strike, 1-1. 3 ground ball outs in the 1st and 2 more in the 2nd for Rick. Gentry to follow, then Coco Crisp. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Punto. He has carved himself out a pretty good big league career as a backup player for the most part. 14 seasons now in the major leagues.
Switch hitter with speed, outstanding glove, can play third, can play short, can play second.
Did he go? We did not. Mike DeMiro said he held up. 2-2. Well, when he was with the Minnesota Twins, he had some good defensive games against the Tigers. 7 of his 14 seasons in a Minnesota uniform. Bouncing ball again. This time to the second baseman, Kinsler. 1 up, 1 away. Time for a game break now. We go back to the studio, check in with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Here it is scoreless between the Tigers and A's, the leaders of the Central against the leaders of the West. Gentry looks at a strike.
And really no fluke at where both these teams sit in their respective divisions. Tigers real good baseball team. Oakland Athletics outstanding baseball team as well.
Here's the 0-1. And they have been that way for a while. Both of these teams have had 13 consecutive winning months. The Tigers put on a rush at the end to finish up over 500 in the month of June. Here's the 0-2. Fought that one off.
He's got a great sinker today. And the velocity is pretty good with the sink piece. 92, 93.
Six ground ball outs already for Rick. And we're only in the 3rd inning tonight. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Here's another ground ball. Castellanos at 3rd. Gentry is out 2 away.
If you're the Oakland Athletics, you come into this game knowing that Rick Porcello has a great sinker. He threw 15 ground ball outs his last time out, but they have not been able to force him into getting the ball up. Therefore, they just continue to pound the ball into the ground. They're trying to force him to get it up, but Porcello's command these days has been impeccable.
Well, here is Crisp. Coco grounded out to start the ball game. A's have really stacked their lineup with lefties. They've got 7 left-handed or switch hitters in the lineup, batting left-handed in this game.
That used to be really troublesome for Porcello.
Yeah, and you've just documented the improvement in that area. That's why he's won 10 ball games this year.
Didn't win his 10th last year until August 25th.
Ball outside. 2-0. Crisp right now 6th in the American League in on-base percentage. .383. And he pulls that one foul.
He's a good baseball player. And you brought it up earlier. He's got some pop in that bat. 6 homers already this year. Lots of doubles, still lots of bases. Really good in center field. He is their catalyst.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that when he is not in their lineup, you can definitely tell a difference. And Rick ready with the 2-1 pitch. Way outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. And the 3-1. That one's lifted in the air. Left side of the infield. Suarez going back to the grass and calling for it. And down they go. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. We'll see last night's hero come up 3rd in the inning. Rajay with a walk-off last night. Comerica Park, and today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome you all. And for the Tigers here in the 3rd, they've got Brian Holiday leading it off. He'll be followed by Eugenio Suarez and then Rajay Davis. Brad Mills delivers a strike to start things off in the 3rd. Holiday playing for Avila in this one. .306 batting average. Lifted back out of play.
And a good day to get Brian in there against the left-hander. Avila will start tomorrow against the right-hander, Chavez.
Well, Brad has said that certainly Holiday has earned some additional playing time.
We talk a lot about the Austin Jackson 9-pitch walk yesterday, but that at bat by Avila last night, even though it was only 1 pitch, it was against arguably the best left-handed reliever in the American League, Doolittle. 96-mile-per-hour fastball hit over the head of the second baseman.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Lowry with the running scoop. 1 gone here in the 3rd. Hey, join us again tomorrow when the Tigers wrap up their series with these A's. Our coverage begins at noon with Tigers Live. Tigers Athletics tomorrow at high noon right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Ian Kinsler is the only one that's seen Brad Mills in a regular season game that's in the Tigers starting lineup this evening. Therefore, they're still trying to figure him out. You can watch a guy on video, but until you get out there and face him, do you not see the action on the breaking ball, the changeup, the 2-seamer, the cutter, or whatever they may feature?
Suarez 0 for 4 in last night's game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mills played his college ball at Arizona, and of course there was another Brad Mills that played at Arizona. There was an All-American there, and he's the bench coach for Terry Francona right now in the big leagues. Here's the strike call.
Also the best friend of Terry Francona. Every manager's job Terry has had, and Brad Mills has been on his staff. It's good to have buddies like that.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, this Brad Mills was a walk-on at Arizona. When he got to campus, he saw the sign that was talking about Brad Mills All-American, and he said, how can I be an All-American? I just got here and I'm a walk-on. And that was the original Brad Mills. They're not related. Here's the 2-2 swing and a miss. Suarez is out of there.
He's done a really nice job of throwing that fastball inside, getting Tigers hitters to look for that, and then following it up with good off-speed pitches.
Here's the T-Mobile game changer. Well, you talk about changing a game. Rajai Davis has been able to do that. Good D last night, and you know what happened in the ninth.
Big fly.
Kapow! Everybody celebrate. Rajai dropping down a bunt. Foul ball.
Doolittle threw 9 straight fastballs to Austin Jackson before walking him, and every fastball was 95 miles an hour and above. And then after he walked him, 2 breaking balls to Rajai Davis, the second of which was a mistake that he hit for a grand slam. 3rd grand slam of Rajai's career. Doodle like he chomping at the bit to get back into there.
Like right now.
Like he's caged out there. He's chomping at the bit, ready to get in this game today. He is not happy.
He's going to start gnawing on that gate in a minute. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rajai Davis. Hard hit ground ball to short, and off the glove of Lowry. Will have no play. 2-out base runner for Detroit. Looks like it came up on him a little.
It did. It'll be interesting to see how they rule this one, because had he made the play, he would have had to turn around and then fire a strike to Callaspo, the first baseman, to get Rajai Davis out, who has outstanding speed.
I'm going to call it a base hit, but we'll see. Austin Jackson will stand in.
I would agree with that. I would also give him a base hit.
Jackson at 241 now. Hit a ball deep to right field his first time up. Ball high. They're still debating on what to call that last play. If it is indeed a hit, it'll be the first one of the day for the Tigers.
Rajai Davis has 22 steals this year, which is second behind the talented second baseman of the Houston Astros, Jose Altuve. Altuve's got him by a pretty good margin.
Close play at first. Rajai gets back. Unless there's an injury involved, it seems like it's going to be tough for anyone to catch Altuve this year. All the hits that he is getting. Rajai, by the way, given a base hit. So it is a 2-out single. First hit of the game for Detroit. .22 steals. He's been caught 6 times. Jackson takes outside.
Rajai Davis has demonstrated the ability to, even if he does get picked off, if you're the left-hander and you give a very slow, deliberate move over there, and he is running on first movement, it's going to be very difficult for the first baseman, Callaspo, to get the ball to the shortstop, Lowry, to throw him out.
That's in there, a strike. The other thing that Rajai was saying that he's got to really kind of get adjusted to is with instant replay now, the expanded instant replay, you can't get away with just beating the ball to the bag, because if you overslide the bag like it happened to him recently, you can get called out. And that's something that he's had to adjust to. making sure that if you go aggressively into second base that you somehow, some way hang on to the bag.
He's a fearless base runner.
Now the 2-1. Jackson hammers another one to right field, slicing, and that's going to be a foul ball. Well, Jackson again peppering that right side deep into right field.
Well, he's taking a page out of Miguel Cabrera's book. Whenever you struggle as a hitter, and what you want to do is you want to see some pitches, which he's been doing. He's been having some quality plate appearances, and you also want to concentrate on driving the ball the other way, which means you're staying on the baseball longer. That's a four-seam fastball that's outside that Jackson stays on, and it's just fouled down the right field line.
Two balls, two strikes. Another toss back to the bag. Davis back in, standing up. Now Mills will step off. So clearly this is a great example of what speed, like the speed that Davis possesses, can do to a pitcher. He was in a great rhythm until that 2-out single. That'll be high now, 3-2. I guess the other thing in a situation like this, Rod, is if you're the batter up there, it's kind of tough to maintain patience as well with so many throws to first base.
Well, you have to try to do the best that you can, though. But you bring up a great point. And because he's thrown over to first base, he's thrown over to first base a couple times, and he decides to deliver the ball home. And Rajai Davis will be on the move on the pitch, but he can't vacate first base too quickly. He does not want to get picked off in this situation.
Swing and a miss. Jackson is out on strikes, and already 5 strikeouts for Brad Mills. Fan photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It is brought to you by AT&T. And that's going to be our view coming up this weekend, Rod. We're doing a game out there way up top in right field amongst the fans. That's going to be some fun.
It's going to be a blast, and you better get your tickets now. I heard they're going fast if you want to hang with me and Mario on Saturday.
There was a serious rush as soon as we announced that we're doing a game out there in right field.
It's going to be a party.
It's going to be fun. I went out there and kind of looked at our broadcast location earlier today. It's really a unique view.
I watched a half a game out there one day, just chilling. It's a nice crowd out there too.
John Jaso is leading it off in the 4th inning. And there goes Castellanos again with the count 0-1. Bouncing ball right side. Straight at Castellanos.
Johnny on the spot.
Done it twice, and he's made a couple of putouts. That one again goes 5-3, even though it was hit to the right side of the infield. Well, Nick now will jog back across.
Getting the sprints in. Well, not necessarily a sprint, but
he's getting his jog in.
Getting his jog in.
There you go, right there. How's it going? Just about right there is where we'll be seated. I told Alex Avila today, I said, hey man, you need to hit a home run up there, because you're one of the guys on this team with some power from the left side.
Right.
And he said, well, sure. I mean, you know, how many rows back do you want me to hit it? So he was playing along. So bring your glove, Rod. He promised he'd hit us one. There's a chopper hit to the shortstop. Suarez, a couple of steps to his left. Ricky P looking good tonight.
Ricky P is throwing a ton of ground balls. He's got a lot of life on his two-seamer. Really hasn't needed the changeup or the curveball very often, but take a look at this number here. Already 8 of those bad boys.
He's retired 7 straight. Brandon Moss will step in. He grounded out 6-3 his first time up. Almost beat the shift. He hit the ball back up the middle that Suarez made a play on. Castellanos deep on the grass this time. Check swing, missed it inside.
And Porcello is 9 of 13 in first pitch strikes so far this evening to the Oakland Athletics. He's kept his pitch count down, only 46 thrown so far. 29 of those strikes.
That's going to leave a mark.
Good pitch to hit there for Brandon Moss. It was a changeup that stayed up in the strike zone, but his swing was a little bit too big, and that's why he didn't square it up the way that he wanted to. Actually, that's a breaking ball that's hanging.
Like his eyes lit up when he saw that breaking ball.
Sure did.
Here's the 1-2. One thing that Torrey keeps talking about, how Kirby Puckett used to tell him, man, don't miss your breaking balls.
That's your blessing.
And that one was sitting there on a tee. 1-2.
Rajay didn't miss his hanging breaking ball yesterday.
He did not. Now Rick Reddy with the 1-2. Ground ball, right side, second base. Kinsler. Yet another ground ball to the collection of Rick Porcello. He's retired 8 consecutive hitters. Jeter takes the field in his last All-Star game ever in what promises to be an emotional and unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 4:30 on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star game at 7:30 on Fox. By the way, the National League released their latest numbers today, and here are the leaders. We got Goldschmidt and Ramirez at the corners. The outfield, Yasiel Puig over 3 million votes. Andrew McCutchen, we'll see him a little bit later this year in Pittsburgh.
Yadier Molina is the catcher. He's pretty much had a stranglehold on that starting catching position for the last number of years.
Home Run Derby on Monday the 14th on ESPN. Tuesday, July the 15th. The All-Star game on Fox. All-Star voting through July the 3rd, so time is running short for you to cast your vote. Might as well go out there and vote for this guy, Ian Kinsler, who was the early leader at second base. Ian struck out back in the first, 0 for 1.
Well, we told you that Rick Porcello very efficient with his first pitch strike. So is Brad Mills. He is 8 of 11 now in getting ahead of the Tigers hitters.
Drilled to left field. Gentry is under it. One gone.
He had 77 strikeouts in 75 innings in the minor leagues, and he only walked 18. And this is how he gets it done. He's got a nice breaking ball. He gets strikeouts that way. He's gotten one strikeout fastball inside, but look how nicely the changeup comes off the fingertips. I mean, this is a really good pitch for him. And the Tigers hitters, they have not been able to pick it up yet. They're not seeing it well, and he has 5 strikeouts already in the game.
And we've talked about how the Tigers have done really well against left-handed pitching this year, but they're off to a slow start here against Mills. This guy could change that on one mighty swing.
Yeah, they were off to a slow start as well last night against the ace of the Oakland Athletics, Scott Kazmir, before he departed with a leg injury.
And Cabrera homered against him in the 6th inning to start things off after the Tigers had fallen behind 1-0. That homer tied it up at that point.
Well, if there's one guy that can figure out Mills in a hurry, it's the big fella.
29 doubles, leads the way in the American League. Earlier this season, Miguel picked up his 2,000th major league hit. 2-0 is in there, a strike. Miguel with a little look back from Mike Estabrook.
Miggy's sitting on that changeup about right now because Mills has thrown so many of them, and he's so good that if he does get the changeup, he'll wear it out. Vogt put down the changeup on the very first sign that he put down, but he was shaken off by Brad Mills. Mills wanted a different pitch.
Here's the 2-1. It'll be an even 50 now for Mills, 31 of which are strikes. However, he has fallen behind 3-1.
Let's see if he gets the changeup. Nope, fastball away.
And he missed with it, ball 4. Tigers have a base runner here. It's a 1-out walk. We'll bring up J.D. Martinez.
That is really, for me, just smart pitching for Brad Mills. He's pitched a really good game so far, but without Victor Martinez in the starting lineup today, no disrespect to any of the other Tigers players, why in the world would you pitch to Miguel Cabrera? Just let him trot to first base every single AB today.
Everybody asks what the value of Victor Martinez has been this year, and yes, he's hit a lot of home runs, but there's a drive to left field, base hit. Miggy is on his way to third, and here comes the throw. Cabrera's in safely at third base. Martinez to second, and the Tigers are in business.
Miggy has great base running instincts, and J.D. Martinez is picking up right where he left off in the month of June. Gets a fastball inside, actually a breaking ball. Pulls his hands in nicely, doesn't hit it right on the barrel, but it gets enough of it to get it down in the left field corner, and Miggy never stopped. Ran right in the face of Gentry. And Gentry came up and flew wildly toward third base, but by Miggy forcing the issue going to third base. Martinez now in scoring position himself.
Second hit of the ball game. And for Martinez, 15th double of the season. Now Torrey Hunter. And a bouncing ball to short. This will get a run in. Torrey gets an RBI. Martinez, or I should say Cabrera, scores. Martinez to third. And it's 1-0 Detroit. Hunter RBI number 39 of the season.
He more than likely pitched around Miguel Cabrera, and that walk was costly.
That walk comes around to score the first run of the game. Torrey with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. He gets it done 68% of the time. Now Castellanos trying to drive in a 2-out run. Martinez at third base. And a ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nick. He struck out back in the second. 39th RBI for Torrey Hunter. Two and 1 the count. Mills with the 2-1 pitch, and it's low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Mills was pitching outstanding baseball down at AAA before the trade brought him to the A's, and here he is in the big leagues. And that one missed. It's a walk. Second walk of the inning.
Billy Beane, the architect of the Oakland Athletics, and I'm sure he has a lot of scouts out there that really watch the kind of players that they put in their uniforms that eventually have success. But their pitching coach, Kurt Young, is stellar, and most guys that come into the organization, most guys that get to the big leagues, they have a lot of success under Kurt Young.
They have found the magic formula, that's for sure.
And Michigan native Kurt Young.
Well, Mills getting his opportunity because Drew Pomeranz had to go on the disabled list after punching a chair in his last start. Broke his hand.
That's not very smart.
No, it's not. And a breaking ball missing low to Brian Holiday here with runners at first and third, 2 outs.
Brian Holiday will bunt for a base hit down toward third base with 2 outs. So if you're JD Martinez, you need to be aware of that fact.
That's in for a strike. 1-1.
He has done it once this year. He did it in Chicago. 2-out RBI for Brian Holiday. And he got himself a base hit while doing so.
There are the runners. Martinez, Castellanos. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing in and away from the catcher, but fortunately for Vogt, he kept it in front of him. Castellanos will move to second base. Saved the run, though, by knocking that ball down.
And JD Martinez on third obviously couldn't come home because the ball is right in front of home plate, but good instincts by Castellanos.
Wild pitch now puts 2 runners in scoring position. Holiday at .328 over his last 26 ball games. Base hit, could knock in 2. Chopped foul, third base side, right by Dave Clark. 2-2 the count on Brian Holiday.
Brian Holiday had all kinds of people in Texas. And he played his collegiate ball at TCU. Well represented it when he went back to play. Lots of family, lots of friends, college teammates, college coaches, little league coaches, you name it, they were there to see B. Holiday.
Everyone was there. And with great pride as well. The 2-2. And that one's fouled off. In fact, Brian returning to Minute Maid Park, where he won an MVP award on a college tournament that they played there called the Texas College Classic or the Houston College Classic. I can't remember exactly, but it's a classic that they played where a lot of the area colleges and great programs, as you expect in Texas, and Brian actually won the MVP award there. And so it was kind of a special homecoming back to Minute Maid Park. Now the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. This time they got him, and they'll throw down to first to complete the strikeout. Tigers, however, get a run to take the lead as we go to the 5th. Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit, and by the new Chevy Silverado light duty and heavy duty lineup. Back here in the Motor City, what a night for baseball. It is 1-0 in favor of the Tigers. We expected this series would be a good one, and we certainly got off to a great start last night. Another tight one here tonight is Miguel Cabrera. Gets a walk to get it started, and Torrey Hunter eventually knocks him in. Tigers bring that 1-0 lead into the 5th inning now as Jed Lowry leads it off. Lowry, big night last night, had 3 RBIs. He's already doubled in this game. Stroked this one to center field, but right at Jackson, who backs up and makes the catch. Gotta love those 1-pitch outs. 1 away in the 5th.
Well, Ricky's got him right where he wants him because he's throwing so many first pitch strikes that they're up there swinging. No runs allowed for Porcello in his last 20 2/3 innings. He is clearly pitching some of the best baseball we've witnessed from him since he's been in the big leagues.
What a great rhythm he's got going right now. He's retired 9 straight in this game.
Came to the big leagues at the tender age of 20.
Stephen Vogt fly to center his first time up, and he stares at a strike. "19 wins for Porcello since the 4th of July last season."
He's keeping some real nice company.
Among that company is Zach Greinke, who is tied with in that stretch.
And Clayton Kershaw is on that list as well. Max Scherzer, big game, James Shields.
This list here goes back to July the 1st, so Greinke actually had 1 more win in that span, but since the 4th they were tied.
3 Cy Youngs on that list: Scherzer, Kershaw, and Greinke.
That list right there was pretty impressive.
Have you seen what? Did you see what Kershaw did in the month of June?
I did. Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
it's sick. You know, I mean,
6-0 with a sub-1.
He's the best in the game right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that. I would not argue that.
The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you want to be objective about it, what he has done. Of course, he spent some time on the DL this year, but that hasn't slowed him down. Callaspo waiting on deck. Line drive, base hit, right field. Hunter goes over to play it, and he'll hold him to a single. Steven Vota's on now with one out. Torrey knew he had to get to that ball quickly, and he did.
He was playing deep too, so that allowed him to get over there and cut it off and prevent Vogt from getting a double. And now the team leader for the Oakland Athletics in grounding into double plays, Callaspo, steps up to the plate. He has grounded into 14 twin killings already this season.
I see what you're doing here. You're setting this up nicely.
Well, Porcello's already thrown a ton of ground balls too.
And he's gotten Callaspo already to ground out once. There's a strike on the outer edge. About a little 4-6-3 here. Small lead at first base by Vogt. Instead, he popped it up. It's all right. Rick will take that. Kinsler coming over.
Rick did not get the ground ball that he wanted, but he had Callaspo on that front foot, and he was able to do it with his changeup. You can see it deep in the palm of the hand of Porcello, and then when he releases the ball at the highest point, it just simply rolls off the fingertips. Dodgers will make a trip here to Comerica Park next week, and we might just get a chance to see Mr. Clayton Kershaw, which would be a treat.
Treat for us.
Treat for everybody involved. I mean, Miggy would enjoy that. Victor would enjoy that.
It's a ball outside. When we were in L.A. earlier in the year, we missed him.
He was on the DL at that time.
Dodgers in on the 8th and 9th. And that is going to lead into that 4-game series in Kansas City, which butts up against the All-Star break. Two 2-0 on Nick Punto. Punto grounded out back in the 3rd. What's going on here? We've had 3 whole batters without a ground out. That's a long stretch for Porcello. He got 3 ground ball outs in the 4th. Here's the 2-0. Driven in the air to center. Jackson is on the move. Still going back. He's there. And that is that for the Oakland Athletics. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. 1-0 lead. You can see the Tigers play these Oakland A's tomorrow. Get the weekend value pack, 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of chips, 4 drinks, all for a discounted price. 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. I said weekend, I meant weekday value pack. I beg your pardon. Weekday value pack. Although when you look at these crowds, it almost seems like a weekend.
No doubt about that.
There's your crowd tonight. We were jammed in on the ballpark last night with the special festivities.
42,000 people in the ballpark last night. Unfortunately, some of them left before the Rajay Grand Slam.
You know, there are some people out there right now that are a little bit upset.
I'm sorry, I just had to say it, though.
And some that probably were talked into leaving because it was such a warm night and the Tigers were down.
Yeah.
Here's a ball up high to Eugenio Suarez. Rajay Davis, Austin Jackson to follow. Brad Mills back to work, the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hit hard into left, base hit. Suarez aboard. The leadoff single. How about the celebration last night? You got a chance to take a part in this, Rod. That had to be just a thrill.
No doubt about that. To be remembered for winning a championship is special. Juan Guerin Bear. Dan Petrie, we had a malfunction with our sound last night while Peaches was in our booth. And he's got an open invitation to come back anytime and give us that half inning back.
So, Dan, if you're watching, you are certainly invited into the booth any time. And he was telling some great stories.
I'm telling you, it's sad that the fans didn't get a chance to hear that.
Here's Rajay Davis now, sends a ground ball to third. Donaldson got a bare hand, fired his second, and they'll get the out there. Fielder's choice for Davis.
It's a gamble here by Donaldson because he clearly could have gloved this ball, and he almost missed it. And didn't field it cleanly with the bare hand, but still got enough of it and to finally corral it and get the grip that he needed to get the ball over to Nick Punto, the second baseman, for the 4th out.
It's been a bit of a challenge defensively as well for Donaldson. He's committed 15 errors this year.
Yeah, that's a lot for him.
Here's Austin Jackson. Ball 1. AJ tonight is 0 for 2, fly ball, which he hit deep to right field his first time up. Then he struck out in the 3rd.
A good count to hit and run in if you want to do something. If you're convinced you can't steal a base off of Mills, you force Jackson into swing and you put Davis on the move.
And there he goes. He's taking strike call, throw to second, tag, got it. Rajay called out. We'll see if the Tigers will challenge this. Now look at the replay. Every play now at any base is always going to be looked at on the replay.
Yeah, it's a good throw here by Vogt, the catcher. And right on the bag to Nick Punto, tag applied to Rajay Davis.
Pretty close.
Very close.
This will give us a good view.
It looked like Punto may have applied the tag to the left elbow of Davis before the left hand got on the bag.
Rajay thrown out for the 7th time this year. Hunter Wendelstedt with the call down at second base. So Jackson now batting with the bases empty. 1-2 the count. Mills spinning one up there high, and the count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes. Should Jackson reach, Kinsler would be next. Two and 2 the count stays. Jackson now trying to snap an 0 for 16
And told you at the top of the show that Mills' top fastball about 89 miles an hour. But when you have nice separation and speed differentials between your fastball and your changeup, you can get yourself a lot of easy outs.
Ball is hit well, but not deep enough to right. Brandon Moss hauls it in. That'll take care of the Tigers, and we go to the 6th. For the 6th inning, the Tigers have 3 hits. Oakland with just 2 in this ball game. That's because Rick Porcello has been as good as it gets. Porcello continues to pitch outstanding baseball. By the way, as promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Michael Collins hanging out with Pause in our Detroit fan photo. So Porcello back to the hill. He's retired 11 of the last 12 that he's faced. He's got Gentry, Crisp, and Jaso. 9, 1, and 2 in the lineup for the Athletics.
Gentry good speed. That's why Castellanos playing in at the cut of the grass at third base, and he will bunt for a hit on occasion.
This time right back to the mound. Rick, another 1 pitch out.
Another ground ball out for Porcello as well.
Here's Coco Crisp. Ground out pop up. Always a good thing when you keep this guy off the bases. And a couple of hits in last night's ball game. I read a stat where the Athletics this year are an incredible 24-7 when Coco scores a run. That's what he means to their offense. Now Porcello's 0-1 pitch. Bender missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coco last year was a 20-20 guy, over 20 homers, over 20 stolen bases. Popped him up. Foul ground. Let's see. Porcello gets way to Cabrera. 2 gone.
Here's our Call Sam of the game. Call Sam call of the game. Steven Vogt, their catcher today, also played some right field and some first base in the first inning after 1 strike. Castellanos vacates his position. That's Jaso, excuse me. Jaso, the catcher. Vogt, the catcher. Let's get this right. Let's get this right. Jaso.
He's a DH.
He's a DH, but they shift on him after he's gotten one strike on him. And it's Castellanos that goes over to the position in shallow right field, and he's grounded out to him twice.
So the Tigers making the call for the shift, and it's worked out. Meanwhile, the fly ball to center field from Jaso. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Standings, Tigers, courtesy of their comeback win, still lead by 3.5. The Royals won last night, and they could have been to within 2.5.
And Kansas City not going anywhere.
So here in the 6th inning, it'll be Kinsler and then Cabrera and Martinez. Brad Mills goes back to work. 74 pitches through 5 innings tonight. Kinsler 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. 1 ball, no strikes, only 5 hits between the two teams. Been dominated by the starting pitching tonight. Mills with the 1-0. 1-1 on Kinsler. Ian has amassed 33 multi-hit games this year, second most in the American League. Posted outside, 2-1. That's it for a strike. 2-2 now on Ian. Mills this year becoming the 8th different starting pitcher for the Athletics. All of last year they used 7. Now the 2-2. Back up the middle into center, base hit. Leadoff man on for the Tigers.
Yeah, the only run scored in this contest last time Miguel Cabrera came up. And Brad Mills basically pitched around Miggy, and he walked him on 5 pitches. No Victor Martinez today. J.D. Martinez came up with a double down the left field corner. Miggy got all the way over to third base, and he came home on the ground ball out to the shortstop by Torrey Hunter.
We'll see if the Tigers can add to that lead here in the 6th inning. Cabrera, 65 RBIs.
Miggy's still sitting on that changeup. That's why he took that fastball right down the middle.
Fastball at 86.
He's a smart hitter. He knows that Mills has thrown a lot of changeups already, and if he throws another one, And if he leaves it up, Mickey's going to do some damage on the pitch.
Here's the 0-1. Foul back out of play.
And this really good game calling by Stephen Vogt, the catcher, because he recognizes Miguel Cabrera. If he takes a fastball right down the middle that's at 86 miles an hour, he is most definitely looking for something else. So he backed up the first fastball with another fastball, and Miggy was just a little bit tardy on it.
Now it's 0-2. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. How much of game calling do you think is that cerebral part of playing that game, that chess game, and what hitters are expecting or what counts are going on and what you should throw in certain counts?
The really good catchers do it. They know what they threw Miggy his first time up. They know what they start him off with the second time up. And they watch how Miggy takes pitches. And then you have to lead your pitcher accordingly.
Rolled foul.
That's a breaking ball there after 3 straight fastballs to Miguel Cabrera. And he hung it. And he got away with it. Talk about 12-6 breaking ball.
Right
that
there.
is straight over the top.
He's trying to put away Cabrera here after a leadoff single.
Kind of dating myself, but back in my day, we used to call that old drop ball.
Drop ball, yeah. Yeah, well, you are dating yourself.
You knew what I was talking about.
And me too. Way to bring that up. Coco Crisp with a nice sliding catch. And Kinsler back to first.
And Coco gets a good jump on this ball hit off the bat of Miguel Cabrera. He comes in and takes a single away from Miggy. Great concentration.
One on, one out, and here is JD Martinez. He was a big part of that scoring in the 4th inning with a double after a walk to Cabrera.
Monster month of June. And for JD Martinez, he got locked in and no one could get him out. He won Player of the Week. Big hit after big hit. And for JD Martinez.
345 in June with 7 home runs. He knocked in 21 last month. Sends it high in the air and deep into left field. Gentry back, track, wall, and welcome to July.
I see you, JD.
A 2-run shot for JD Martinez, and the Tigers add to their lead.
He killed that.
That's number 10 for JD. The old no-doubter.
He got himself that straight changeup, and he might have been looking for it. He barreled it up very nicely. That ball about 10 rows deep in the left field.
Martinez is something else, man.
He's locked in.
What a stretch he has been on.
It's been fun to watch.
He's got 7 home runs in his last 15 games. And again, filling in for Victor Martinez in the 4th spot in the lineup. Torrey pops it up. Teoscar. 2 gone. The 2 RBIs gives him 34 for the year. So with 2 gone now, here is Castellanos. Nick kind of walking his last at bat. He struck out on his first at bat. Mills was cruising along until a leadoff single and a 1-out homer by JD Martinez. Two 2-0 the count. This in support of Rick Porcello, who has scattered just a couple of hits in this game. Mills missing high with a fastball. Now the count goes to 3-0. Holiday would be next if Castellanos were to reach. That should be ball 4. And it is. Castellanos gets the walk. He thought that Estabrook was going to call that a strike, but he didn't. Second walk in the game for Castellanos, who walked twice in the ball game last night. Bring up Brian Holiday. For 2 so far for Brian. Strikeout, ground out. 2-run shot by J.D. Martinez here in the 6th makes it 3-0 Detroit. And a strike call. Tigers trying to jump their record to 46-34, trying to get to 12 over with a victory here tonight. These two teams splitting a series out in Oakland earlier in the season. Tigers have won the first game with their comeback win last night. Way high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, there's some action now in the bullpen. Jim Johnson, former closer, is heating up. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to third. Donaldson has it there. Goes the short way to second for the force, ending the inning, not before. Tigers go deep. J.D. has done it yet again. It's a 2-run shot. A couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th. J.D. Martinez there is, well, he's put Mr. Mills in his book, apparently, as the 2-run shot gives it a 3-0 lead now. But what can you say about J.D. Martinez?
That's old school there. You don't see many guys writing in pages as far as pamphlets are concerned on the bench anymore. But J.D. Martinez putting exactly what pitches he's gotten there from Brad Mills.
The other half of the story here tonight has to be Rick Porcello, Rod. I mean, Rick is just continuing what he did in Texas his last time out. It's just been impressive to watch.
You know, it's been incredible to watch his maturation process in the 5 years he's been in the big leagues. He came to the big leagues with a real good sinker, but he's learned how to pitch. He elevates fastballs at 91, 92. Good curveball, good changeup. He's been able to slow down left-handers, and that's the biggest difference in his year so far.
It's kind of been what we expected out of this series, huh? Two really good teams, a couple of really good games so far.
Well, good pitching always slows down good hitting. The Tigers have a couple of big blows in the series. Actually, they have three. Miggy's played long ball. Rajay with the big one yesterday, and also J.D. Martinez.
So again, Porcello very quickly gets the first out. This time in the 7th inning, Donaldson is out.
He has been really good in first pitch strikes category today, and Porcello is pitching like he wants to make the All-Star team this year for the very first time.
That is 4 outs now in the last 6 pitches for Porcello, who had a 5-pitch 6th inning.
And with 2 weeks to go, I can't even imagine Porcello not making the American League All-Star squad.
No, I'm with you on that. I mean, certainly you want to see him finish this outing off here on a positive note, and if he does, I mean, that's going to bring his ERA down. It would be his 11th win. There is some work to be done, but man, has he been impressive. Brandon Moss is the batter. Fouled away. Well, here's a list of guys that are probably going to be at the All-Star game. You got Felix, you got Tanaka,
and Porcello, Kazmir, Burley. Some guys at the bottom as well that'll probably make the team or have a really good shot. That would be Price, Scherzer, Darvish, and Dallas Keuchel of the Houston Astros.
Bouncing ball right side, and right there is Kinsler. Ground ball outs just to keep on coming.
Pitching clinic here tonight, put on by Rick Porcello. Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Rick. He's touched 93 a couple of times with his two-seam fastball. He's gone as low as 76 on several different pitches with his curveball.
So the pitch count just remains in tremendous shape for Porcello as Jed Lowry stands in. That's a strike called. And as we play here in the 7th, it's an even 70 for Rick.
Yeah, the most pitches that he has thrown in any one inning today was the second when he threw 15.
Here's the 0-1. That'll get down into center field, base hit. Rick had retired 16 of the previous 17 before that single.
Well, you figured Lowry would get him. And he swung a nice bat last night. Couple of knocks. He drove in 3. He's got 2 hits today against Porcello. And that last pitch location was not a bad location thrown by Porcello. It was inside, but Lowry able to fight it off for a base hit right back up the middle.
2 of the 3 hits that the A's have belong to Lowry. Stephen Vogt, the batter. Popped him up foul. This will get back out of play. Vogt is signaling a fly ball in this contest. Tigers have 3 runs, 5 hits. Athletics no runs, 3 hits. Ball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Porcello now 10 wins at least in each of his first 6 major league seasons, with his win in his last outing against Texas. Every year he's been in the big leagues, double-digit wins. And that is going to be hit to the second baseman. Kinsler on 1 hop, throws him out. 3 more ground ball outs for Rick Porcello. We go to the 7th inning stretch, presented by Health Plus. And spend Sunday night in the D when the Tigers face the Tampa Bay Rays on July 6th at 8:07. For as low as $17.50, fans can get a game ticket and a Sunday night in the D t-shirt. Offer is available exclusively at tigers.com/Sunday night. Tigers and Rays get together. Well, we go to the bottom of the 7th on what has been a spectacular night here weather-wise. And the Tigers on top of the Athletics 3-0, trying to make it 2 straight in this series.
It took the Tigers a while to figure out the starter tonight, Brad Mills, but they finally started sitting on a few pitches, and they finally got those pitches. And one of those would be that changeup. JD Martinez hit out for a 2-run shot.
Here's our in-game box score. Not a whole lot going on, but just enough thanks to JD Martinez with a 2-run homer. Brad Mills back to work. Suarez showing bunt. Ball 1. Only 74 pitches for Porcello through 7 innings of work tonight. And he's given up just 3 hits. Suarez, then Davis, and then Austin Jackson. Low and in. 2 balls, no strikes.
Porcello threw a complete game shutout 5 days ago against the Texas Rangers. He threw 115 pitches in that game. So he really wasn't stressed out all that much.
Low and away, 3-0.
Brad Ausmus said before he sent Porcello out there for the 9th inning that evening, but he had about 120 pitches max in his mind for Porcello.
Well, it was fun to watch him walk in after that 8th inning and just hope that he was going to be able to go out there for the 9th.
He was eavesdropping on the conversation that Jeff Jones and Brad Ausmus was having.
3-2 now on Suarez. Eugenio didn't like it. Neither did the Tiger bench, apparently. They're letting Mike Estenberg know about it. Here's the 3-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle, and it's going to be a base hit. Suarez gets his 2nd hit of the game. Leadoff man on here. Hey, by the way, it's a Fox Sports Detroit Prize Pack Tuesday brought to you by Meyer. Enter at www.foxsportsdetroit.com to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack that any baseball fan would love. Bob Melvin coming out. And he's bringing the hook with him. Wall side windows pitching change. Brad Mills is done. To the bullpen they go. We'll be back. He gave up 3 runs, a couple of them on a 2-run homer by JD Martinez. He is responsible for the leadoff single that he allowed to Suarez. Now he's going to hand it off to the bullpen. And Jim Johnson is the new pitcher now for the A's.
And Jim Johnson not having a very good year this year, his first year in an Oakland Athletics uniform. And this is after having 50 saves last year for the Baltimore Orioles, which tied with Craig Kimbrell of the Atlanta Braves for the major league lead. As a matter of fact, Jim Johnson has had 2 50 save seasons in the big leagues, one of 3 players in the history of the game to do that.
Here's Rajai Davis.
Eric Gagne of the Los Angeles Dodgers did it, and of course Mariano Rivera has done it.
Rajai, a long look down at Dave Clark in the coaching box at third base. 1 out, nobody out. So the Yankees have had to improvise a little bit in terms of their closer situation. The Red Sox had to improvise quite a bit last year. They went through 2 or 3 guys before they settled on Uehara.
Oakland, they have themselves a pretty good closer now in Doolittle, although he did blow one yesterday.
And that is bunted foul. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Johnson trying to quiet things down here. The Tigers added to their 1-0 lead on the 2-run homer by J.D. Martinez in the 6th. Suarez got back in there that time.
That's a good snap throw over to first base by Johnson. That's a really close play.
Johnson trying to make sure that Suarez does not get too far off the bag with Davis up there. And nobody out. Johnson at the start of his career was a starter for the Orioles in their organization, but once he got to the big leagues, mostly as a reliever. Bouncing ball left side, deep in the hole. Going to be a tough play, and they get the force at second.
That's the only play they had, and they weren't going to get Rajai. It's a nice job here by Lowry. They're ranging far to his right, then turning his body and firing a strike to the second baseman, Nick Punto. And look at Nick Punto stretch out like he's a first baseman. Knowing he's not going to get 2, he wanted to get that ball in his glove as soon as possible. That's a first baseman stretch.
1 on 1 out, so Rajai now at first base.
He's already been thrown out once, but he will probably test this combination of Vogt and Johnson.
And as a result, a pitch out, but nothing going on.
Big league managers do not pitch out on back-to-back pitches, but this might be one time that Bob Melvin does so.
One-0 is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Tigers 3 runs, 6 hits. Athletics no runs, 3 hits.
Chip Hale, the bench coach for Bob Melvin, handles the running game for his skipper.
Bouncing ball to short. Lowry flips to second one. That's going to be a double play. 6, 4, 3, 7 in the books here at Comerica.
days ago threw 15 ground ball outs against the Texas Rangers. Here's our bell tire pitch by pitch, and he has had the Oakland Athletics, a swinging A's, hitting the ball on the ground all night long to the tune of 14 ground ball outs, breaking balls, two-seamers, change-ups. And the Oakland Athletics, they're a good team. I mean, a really good offensive team that works counts, but they have not been able to get the ball up in the strike zone, and Rick Porcello has twirled a gem.
How well has he pitched? About 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 14 ground ball outs, and he has not walked anybody or struck anybody out.
Only 74 total pitches thrown through 7 innings today by Porcello.
That's what really kind of makes it amazing, and obviously without the strikeouts that'll help keep your pitch count down, but he's gotten so many quick outs, so many one-pitch outs. Callaspo leading it off. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's really kind of odd, especially for a team like Oakland that leads baseball in walks. But they have had some very quick innings in this game. Callaspo, Punto, Gentry, bottom 3 due up here in the 8th. Bouncing ball again. Kinsler's been busy tonight. 1 out. Hey, join Detroit Tigers All-Star and American League Most Valuable Player Miguel Cabrera along with his friends and teammates under the lights at Comerica Park. Enjoy exclusive access to the ballpark field and clubhouse, priceless auction items, and private fireworks as we raise money to keep kids in the game, a benefit for children's health and youth baseball.
That is an absolute wonderful event that's put on with Miggy and the Tigers.
Cabrera giving back to the community. A community obviously that has given him so much here in his tenure with Detroit. Punto the batter. Ground out, fly out.
Jeff, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Rod, we're talking about, and we talked about this in the game against Texas. You don't see a pitcher dominate teams without striking guys out like Porcello does. He just simply pounds that zone and gets the ground ball.
Yeah, he's dominating them with his sinker ball.
Yeah, it's a different type of domination.
First pitch strikes.
Well, he's ahead 1-2. There's more action. Francis warming up, the left-hander in the bullpen for the Athletics.
He's making his life easy, though. 20 of 26 in first pitch strikes for Porcello. Jeff Jones, pitching coach, has to be elated at his pupil. And when Rick was 20 years old, it was Rick's first year in the big leagues. Jeff Jones was the bullpen coach at that time. Chuck Hernandez was the pitching coach, and Jeff Jones used to have Rick Porcello over his house for dinner. They spent a lot of time together, and to see him mature in this type of pitcher.
Look at this, another ground ball. Rick will cover this time for the out. 3-1, 2 away. It's going to bring up Greg Gentry. Couple of ground ball outs for Gentry. .272 batting average for the former Texas Ranger. Strike one.
Ricky P. He's been south of the knees all night long. Oh my goodness. Stop it, Ricky.
No balls, 2 strikes now on Gentry. He's ready with the 0-2. Here it is. Bouncer, slow roller, back up the middle. Suarez ranging far left. Not going to have time, though. It's a 2-out infield single.
It's an 0-2 pitch, and Suarez does all he can do to get over there and get the ball on its way to first base. Throwing off balance, but Gentry has really good speed, and he wasn't going to get Gentry. Rick Porcello, 85 pitches thrown so far today. Has not walked a batter. He's only had 3 2-ball counts all night. Just 2 of them.
3 2-ball counts. Not even a 3-ball count. Holy cow.
No, 2 3-ball counts.
Oh, 2 3-ball counts. Okay. Still very impressive. Breaking ball low. 1-0 on Coco Crisp.
Big batter right here. And Coco Crisp also had a monster June.
Not a whole lot going on tonight for Coco. A couple of pop-ups and a ground out. In for a strike. Only 3 hits allowed in that shutout against Texas in his last start on Thursday in Arlington. That last hit he gave up here was just the 4th of the game, the infield single for Gentry. Bouncing ball, second base. He'll get the force. And that's a stretch of 24 1/3 scoreless innings for Porcello, the longest of his career. For tonight for the Tigers, and of course JD Martinez sticks out, 2-run shot in this ball game. It's not like the Tigers have been pounding the ball over the lot here tonight, Rob, but they really haven't needed to.
No, Porcello has not needed any margin for error today. He's had a great sinker, great changeup, and a really good breaking ball, and really to slow down this Oakland Athletics team, which really came to Comerica Park hot before Rajay slowed him down last night with that big walk-off grand slam.
Well, as we go to the bottom of the 8th, we've got ourselves a Wallside Windows pitching change. The veteran Jeff Francis is on.
A former Colorado Rockies starting pitcher, #1 draft choice, as a matter of fact, number of years back for the Colorado Rockies. Does not throw nearly as hard as he used to throw.
And it'll be 2, 3, and 4. Kinsler, Cabrera, Martinez. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Ian with a single and a run scored in this ball game. Scored on the 2-run shot by JD Martinez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncing ball foul. There's one of the big performers for the Tigers tonight. The home run by Martinez. JD filling in for Victor again tonight, and doing so quite well. Missed with it. 2-2 the count. Miguel waiting on deck. 3-2. Francis broke into the big leagues in 04 with Colorado and was with them through 2010. Ground ball left side, deep in the hole. Lowry. Long throw. Got him. Oh, what a play there by Jed Lowry.
He's already made a couple of nice plays in the game. He made one last half inning, taking a base hit away from Rajay. But look how quickly Lowry gets rid of this baseball, throwing off the right foot, throwing accurately back across the diamond to Callasco, the first baseman, who stretches out nicely to nip Ian Kinsler at the wire. That's a really good play by Lowry.
There's Cabrera now with one out. Three nothing. Tigers have the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Two balls, no strikes. Francis had a season in Kansas City, but he lost 16 games that year. That was 2011. There's a ground ball again deep in the hole. Again Lowry. This time a little bit more time. 2 gone here in the 8th. Glad you're with us tonight. Mario and Rod here at the ballpark at Comerica on a beautiful night for baseball here in the Motor City. Marquez Stefano, our producer. Brian Moss, our director, on this gorgeous evening, where it's been all Rick Porcello and JD Martinez, who's had a double and a 2-run homer in this game. Lifting this one in the air toward right. Brandon Moss is on the move back to the warning track, and that'll be it for the Tigers. They go 1, 2, 3, and we go to the 9th. Going to the 9th inning, and Rick Porcello has been really good in a 3-0 ball game. Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. JD Martinez 2 out of 4 with a 2-run shot, double as well, and well, I guess the rest belongs to Rick.
17 ground ball outs.
Well, he's got 3 more outs to get here. John Jaso leads off the 9th inning. Strike 1. It'll be Jaso, Donaldson, Brandon Moss, and with that strike, there goes Castellanos heading to short right field.
Yeah, you say it. I couldn't say it last time.
That's all right. Jaso's hit the ball on the ground twice. He is flying out as well, and now he's down to the count 0-2. Porcello has just been, well, dominant. Pitch count has been in tremendous shape all night. That was just his 90th pitch. Here's the 0-2. High fly ball to center field. This will be routine for Jackson. There's out number 1.
We told you that Porcello has already thrown 17 ground ball outs. Before this evening, 14 was the high in grounders thrown by Rick Porcello. That happened back in 2010.
Well, Donaldson is obliged with 3 of those ground ball outs. Strike 1.
Oh, he's been first pitch strike on just about every single Oakland Athletics hitter tonight. There you have it.
One ball, one strike. Now Rick ready with the 1-1 pitch to Josh Donaldson. He skies this one to center. Jackson cruising back. He's under it. And a couple of fly ball outs here in the 9th. Right now we check in with Shannon Hogan, preview what's coming up on Tigers Live.
Well, you guys, back-to-back exciting games here at Comerica Park. As soon as this one is over, stay right here on Fox Sports Detroit for Tigers Live postgame. I'll be talking with Rick Porcello, JD Martinez, and of course Brad Ausmus. It's all coming up next here on Tigers Live.
All right, Shannon, thanks. And here comes a crowd of 32,455.
They've been cheering for Porcello for a couple of innings now. Every time he walks off the field, then when he walks back on the field. But why not?
Brandon Moss hits it in the air. This is going to do it. Rajai Davis, back-to-back complete game shutouts for Rick Porcello.
Look out, pretty Ricky. Unbelievable job by Porcello, but Brian Holiday was the catcher tonight, and he led Porcello beautifully the entire evening.
A 1-2-3 9th inning. First Tiger pitcher since Jack Morris in '86 to throw back-to-back complete game shutouts.
He was so dominant here tonight, it feels like he threw a no-hitter.
95 pitches. A complete game shutout against the team that won, 51 coming in. And he needed just 95 pitches. Porcello fired up tonight. We've got a whole lot more from the ballpark coming up.